Hello and welcome to the Daily Roundup. I am Sumedha.
And I'm Surangya. And here are the top stories for today.
Karnataka's political drama is at its peak. In our second story, we'll be talking about rupees 7,000 crore worth of welfare funds which are unused in Maharashtra as workers die. In our third story, we'll be speaking about the Budweiser factory workers protesting for about 500 days in Sonipat. In our international section, we'll be discussing the centre-right conservatives' victory in Greece elections. We'll also talk about Iran, which is going to be breaching the limit which is set by the nuclear deal. And amongst a lot of other stories as well. But for the first story, we're focusing on Karnataka, where the political drama is at its peak and uncertainty is ruling the politics in the state. 21 of the Congress cabinet ministers have resigned to accommodate disgruntled MLAs. With the resignation of the 14 MLAs and the independent MLA and Minister Nagesh quitting the government and declaring their support to the BJP. The BJP has gained the numbers required to form the government. If there are 14 members resigning, then the total strength of the House will be 210 and excluding the Speaker, it will be 209. The magic number will then be 105. BJP already has 106 MLAs. And if all the 14 MLAs' resignations go through, then the strength of the coalition will be about 104 and the government will fail. BSY Yediyurappa, the state president of the BJP, has a record of being the chief minister of the state for one day. That is the level of desperation that the BJP is showing to form the government. Yediyurappa has also said that they will not sit silent. But will it be so easy for the BJP to form the government is the question. The Hindu had also reported that the Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy is likely to convene an emergency meeting of the cabinet on Monday, which is still taking place. The cabinet is expected to send a resolution to the governor Vajubhai Vala seeking the postponement of the monsoon session of the legislature that is scheduled to begin from July 12th. One has to remember that the current governor has been favourable towards the BJP in the past as well. Even though the post-poll coalition of the Congress and the JDS has a majority, the governor had previously invited the BJP to form its government. However, the BJP had failed to prove the majority in the assembly. The parties are now again yet to prove the majority on the floor. In case the damage control methods of the Congress and the JDS work and even half of the resigned MLAs withdraw their resignations, the government is likely to stand. If it doesn't work the way, then the BJP with a majority is likely to form the government in the state. As we speak today on this episode of the Daily Roundup, there is a meeting which is being convened in New Delhi. And since Saturday, we've been informing you that following the resignation of the MLAs, there has been a series of meetings which are taking place, which are headed by JDS Supremo H.D. Deve Gowda at his residence, as well as Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy. He had also cut short his private visit to the United States of America and he had returned to the capital city of Bengaluru on Sunday evening to resolve the crisis in the state. The question is being discussed in depth as to how are the meetings likely to make sure that the government can be saved. As many as 4 MLAs of the Congress have mentioned in their resignations that they would withdraw their resignations if former CM Siddharth Maya was being made the chief minister again, including the members of the JDS are also not happy with Kumaraswamy as the chief minister. When one looks at the BJP camp, B.S. Yediyurappa has made it clear that they are ready to strike at this opportunity given the political crisis in the state. B.S.Y. Yediyurappa, as the state president of the BJP, has been trying to make all these efforts to come back to power. And that is the kind of efforts that are being shown by the BJP in the state. Now we're moving on to our second story, which is from Maharashtra, where the death of the workers are still continuing. So the death of the workers are continuing in the state of Maharashtra with the monsoons catching up pace. The government records have gone on to show that the funds of the welfare funds which are meant for laborers are not being used. So there are about 7,482 crore rupees presently according to the government's website. However, only 722 crore rupees have been spent until now for the workers' benefit. In Mumbai, 18 labourers have lost their lives in a single incident when they were crushed under a compound wall while they were sleeping. A similar incident also took place in Kalyan, which had killed more than 3 labourers, including a pregnant woman, while in Pune, 6 labourers had died in one incident. In the second incident had also claimed 15 lives. The increasing number of such accidents have raised questions on the security of labourers. Registered labourers are entitled to various schemes of the state and the central government. The State Labour Board sends its officers for the registration on the yearly basis, and there are almost 25 schemes for the labourers, including security for work, insurance, medication, education for their children, and also schemes related to financial assistance. But due to lack of registration of labourers, all these schemes remain only on paper. The administrative cost amount of rupees 108 crores. What is interesting is that only limited amount of labourers, which does not cross the complete amount, have been registered by the state, which is a gruesome failure on the part of the state. This number is not even 1/10 of the estimated number of labourers working right now in Maharashtra. Talking about workers' rights, we're also focusing on a big protest from Sonipat. On July 7th, it marked the 500th day of unbroken protest by the workers in the Budweiser factory in Sonipat under the banner of Haryana Breweries Mazdoor Union. The grievances of the workers include the termination of union leaders, withdrawal of union recognition, and the management's refusal to negotiate on the demands of the union. In a press note which was released yesterday, the independent union declared that the workers will continue their demonstration to put pressure on the management to stop the selective victimization of union members and to reinstate the terminated union committee members. Members who were, according to the union, fired by the management 3 years ago through illegal means. We're continuing, as on Newsclick and for Daily Roundup, we constantly tell you stories of workers' struggle. In Bengaluru as well, labours of the Vishwa Varaya Steel Limited, which is commonly known as VISL, have been staging an indefinite protest on Sunday, which is July the 7th, against the sale of the company. During the protest, the workers have been raising slogans against the BJP and the state president BSY Yediyurappa as well, and his son and the sitting MP BY Raghavendra. The protesters were irked because the MP had left he had left Bengaluru despite the appointment with the union leaders. The workers have said that both the father and the son have been betraying the promises that they will negotiate with the leaders, and they are hell-bent on privatizing the company and are also not standing by the workers, and they are showing double standards. We're also focusing on the budget, and the term zero budget has become a buzzword which is being coined by Vidarbha-based farmer Subhash Palekar, who was bestowed with the Padma Shri in 2016. Zero budget is a form of budgeting that has acquired some significant resonance, just as Skill India scheme did in 2015. The credit for turning zero budget farming into India's latest is being turned into India's latest mantra for economic growth. And the credit goes to the Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, who had also used this as a panacea for resolving India's agrarian distress and doubling the income of farmers in her maiden budget speech on July 5th. But what is zero budget natural farming, and how can it actually take place? This is a conversation that we had with Vikas Rawal, who is a professor of JNU in New Delhi, and we had this exclusive conversation. Take a look.
वित्त मंत्री अपनी बजट स्पीच में किसानों के लिए जीरो बजट की बात करते हैं। कहीं ना कहीं उसका जो कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है वो भी देखने की ज़रूरत है कि वित्त मंत्री की ये ऑडेसिटी कि बजट स्पीच में आप जीरो बजट की बात किसानों के लिए करते हैं। किसानों को आप जो है कोई वित्तीय सहायता देने के बजाय, उसके लिए एलोकेशन करने के बजाय आप जीरो बजट की बात करते हैं। अब ये जीरो बजट लेकिन है क्या? जीरो बजट से अर्थ जो है वो ये इस प्रकार की खेती जिसमें कोई भी बाज़ार से खरीद करके जो है इनपुट्स जो है वो ना लगाई जाए। अब ये क्या संभव है? आपने पूरा जो हरित क्रांति का जो पीरियड था जिसमें भारत ने अपने अनाज के उत्पादन में स्वायत्तता प्राप्त की, उसमें सारा दारोमदार उस ग्रोथ का मॉडर्न इनपुट्स चाहे वो अच्छे बीज हों, चाहे खाद हो, कीटनाशक दवाइयाँ हो, मशीनरी हो, ये सब प्रयोग करके किसान उत्पादन करते हैं जिससे इस देश का पेट भरता है। अब आप कह रहे हैं ज़ीरो बजट फार्मिंग कीजिए। ज़ीरो बजट फार्मिंग कैसे होगी? क्या मशीन नहीं खरीदेंगे किसान? वो मशीन खरीदने के लिए डीजल नहीं चलाएंगे, लगाएंगे किसान? क्या बैल लगा करके, हल भी क्या घर में खुद किसान बढ़ई बन करके बनाएगा और उसको चलाएगा? या बीज जो है, चलिए बीज अपना रखेंगे, उसमें उन्नत बीज बाहर से लाने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं होगी। तो आप क्या अगर आप ज़ीरो बजट करना चाहते हैं तो ज़ीरो बजट करने का तरीका क्या हो सकता है कि सरकार बीज का उत्पादन करे और किसानों को फ्री में दे, सरकार खाद का उत्पादन करे और किसानों को मुफ्त में दे। वो नहीं करेंगे। आप कह रहे हैं कि किसान बीज ही उन्नत बीज का प्रयोग ना करें, किसान उन्नत खाद का उपयोग ना करे और किसान जो है गोबर की खाद पर चलाए। अब अगर आप ये हिसाब लगाइए कि आज की तारीख में देश की खेती में जितना नाइट्रोजन, फास्फोरस और पोटेशियम खेती में लगता है, इतना उत्पादन हम कर रहे हैं, उसके लिए कहीं ना कहीं आप कुछ डालिएगा तभी तो कुछ उत्पादन होगा। तो आप उसमें नाइट्रोजन, फास्फोरस, पोटेश डाल रहे हैं और उससे कुछ उत्पादन हो रहा है। ठीक है, उसमें इनएफिशिएंसी हो सकती है, थोड़ा बहुत आप कहीं उसमें इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं, पर मान लीजिए उतना नाइट्रोजन, फॉस्फेट, पोटेश अगर आपको गोबर की खाद से डालना पड़े तो पूरा ये देश जो है गोबर में डूबता रह जाएगा। इतना गोबर का खाद आपके पास है नहीं, इतना गोबर का खाद आपके पास उत्पादन करने की कोई स्थिति नहीं है कि आप ज़ीरो बजट फार्मिंग करके किसान अपने गोबर से उतना उत्पादन आपको करके दे देगा। तो ये बातें सिर्फ हवाई बातें हैं, इनकी कोई जो है ज़मीन पर उतर करके क्या स्थिति है किसान की, उससे कोई लेना देना है नहीं।
Moving on to our international section, for the first story we go to Greece, where the results of the parliamentary elections held on July 7th are out. The centre-right conservative New Democracy Party led by Kyriakos Mitsotakis has emerged victorious, inflicting a humiliating defeat on the incumbent Syriza party, led by Alexis Tsipras. According to latest reports, New Democracy has received 39.85% of votes and 158 seats, while the Syriza got 31.53% of the vote, and its tally came down to 86 seats from the 150 seats it had in the 300-seat parliament. The Communist Party of Greece also managed to retain its 15 seats and 5.3% of the vote share by withstanding the conservative surge. The neo-Nazi Golden Dawn Party received only 2.93% of the votes and lost their representation in the parliament. Communist Party of Greece General Secretary Dimitris Kotsouba said that the election was marked by legitimate popular dissatisfaction with the Syriza government. However, it is a negative sign that people have turned to older, unpopular choices such as New Democracy. The Syriza gained power in Greece in 2015, leading the anti-austerity, anti-EU protests of 2010 to 12 that was sparked by the economic crisis in the country. But after coming into power, the government backtracked on most of its promises and continued the austerity policies of the previous governments. Our next story comes from Iran. The government has officially announced on July 7th that it would breach the limits set by the nuclear deal regarding the enrichment of uranium. The announcement came as a deadline set by Iran for the European countries to save the nuclear deal expired. As per the nuclear deal, Iran is allowed to enrich uranium till 3.67% of purity. This level is enough for power generation in nuclear reactors. For weapons, the purity level needs to be above 90%. The current announcement means Iran can theoretically enrich uranium anywhere between 3.67 to 90%. Observers say Iran is adopting a phase-wise approach to pressurize the European countries to save the deal. The US withdrew from the nuclear deal in 2018 and imposed 2 rounds of sanctions on Iran. Over the past 1 year, Iran has appealed to other signatories of the deal, especially the UK, France, and Germany, to take steps to preserve the deal, but they have not done much despite claiming to stick by the deal. In Philippines, activists and church leaders in Negros have come out in condemnation of the arrest of 13 citizens, including a pastor and trade unionists, as well as the murder of a transport workers leader. Between June 25th and 28th, security forces arrested 13 people on various charges of murder and alleged collaboration with the banned Communist Party of the Philippines and New People's Army, while the trade union leader was murdered by an unidentified gunman. Many of those arrested, including farmers, are being accused of storing stashes of weapons. The murder of the trade union leader was the 67th such incident in Negros ever since Rodrigo Duterte took power in 2016. Earlier this year, violence in Negros against farmers and activists hit a peak. This includes a massacre of 14 farmers alleged to be communists in a weapons raid by security forces, and the murder of a city councillor of Escalante, Toto Patigas, who was associated with the left-wing political party Bayan Muna. Moving on to sports news, the US women's national football team beat the Netherlands 2-0 in the final to win its fourth FIFA World Cup title in Lyon last night. The almost unchallenged run of the American players in the tournament, led by co-skippers Megan Rapinoe and Alex Morgan, is a testament to their quality and professionalism. Soon after the victory, Rapinoe, who ended the tournament as best player and top scorer, spoke about how the fight will continue once the team gets back to the US. The fight Rapinoe was talking about is the one she and her teammates have taken up against the US Soccer Federation, demanding the same pay and looking after as the men's side. In March this year, 28 members of the US team sued the US Soccer Federation for alleged gender discrimination by paying the women less than the members of the men's team. The Soccer Federation and the plaintiffs tentatively agreed to mediation before the start of the World Cup. Now, with the tournament being over and won in an emphatic fashion by the US, the talks are expected to resume. Rapinoe was quick to point that out, also reiterating that the world is with them in this fight. The whole stadium in Lyon, in fact, were chanting equal pay through the course of the presentation ceremony after the final, cheering for Rapinoe and the team while booing FIFA boss Gianni Infantino and French President Emmanuel Macron. Rapinoe reiterated her intent to not visit the White House at Donald Trump's invitation. So that's all the time we have for today. These are all the stories we will be showing in this episode of Daily Roundup. Thank you for watching.
And to follow these stories and many more, log on to our website www.newsclick.in, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Thank you for watching.